Now, in just over 6 hours' time, large parts of two nations will grind to a halt as fans of England and Wales squeeze onto sofas, pack into pubs, or crowd around their PCs and handhelds for the much-awaited clash of the home nations. There may even be a little singing. But what makes a great national football anthem? The Welsh band Manic Preachers have produced the official anthem for the country's first appearance in a major football championship in more than 50 years. And I've been speaking to the Manics lyricist, Nicky.
Since 1958, what Brazil would make our hearts break. But now that France has arrived.
Well, it's taken 20 years for me to write it, maybe even longer. I think 1993, we lost to Romania. Paul Bowden missed a penalty. We had a chance to qualify for the USA World Cup. Played brilliant that night, but just wasn't to be.
As you listen to the lyrics, as you watch the music video,
yeah,
it does feel like this is a life's work and a life of despair, really, constantly almost getting through to championships and then being knocked out.
Well, there's been a lot of them, and I've been at quite a few myself. And when I give James the lyric, it's just about 2 pages. He went, "Oh, I thought a football song would be a short lyric, not like our usual ones." And it does sort of go through all the travails of being a Welsh football fan over the years, you know, and getting so close and having some kind of nights infused with our Welsh melancholia.
One could almost say that was a Scottish hand.
Certainly Jordan's hand went up as well. Let's have a look.
How much, when you come to write an anthem, which is very, very different from what the Manics normally do,
yeah,
do you look back and think, oh, I don't want it to sound like Bradfield and Skinner, the famous England Three Lions. I quite fancy it sounding like New Order's World in Motion. How did you approach it?
New Order's World in Motion is probably the ultimate one. The genius of that song is it sounded like a New Order track. So when we started to write it, Jim said this song has to be good enough to be on a Manics album. To be honest, since Three Lions, there's been some woeful stuff, you know, Embrace and Ant and Dec and
Chas and Dave.
I got a soft spot for Chas and Dave because I'm a Tottenham fan. And this, you know, Echo and the Bunnymen, who are one of my favourite bands of all time, managed to do one with the Spice Girls once for England. It's just no one can remember.
How does it feel?
For us to do it, we wanted to have a great lyric, real bells, kitchen sink, strings, guitars, and a big old chorus.
So come around, say, let's set the world alight. When you're at my place, we can meet any side.
And that New Order one, you did resist what they were tempted by, which is a footballer rapping and others dancing and singing.
Got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can.
Our breakdown section is a chant, so the rap would be going too far. And when we did the video, because we mentioned about 15 players who were in the squad and the team, the whole squad was there, and I felt really bad because obviously some of them were not mentioned.
And the idea for a chant, in a way, inspired, was it, by the success of Bradfield and Skinner? It was not something you just sing, but you could sing on the terraces. You could chant it on the terraces.
Yeah, I mean, Three Lions is probably the best lyric, I think, because it is directly about football, and it does, again, it takes you through a kind of potted history, highs and lows.
Football's coming home, it's coming. It's on the show, it's coming. Shows where they still play.
What about the football? You going to pull it off today? Can they win?
It would be something. I mean,
It's the Battle of Britain. That's how it's being described.
yeah, I mean, when everything gets built up around these massive games, sometimes it's almost too painful to watch. One way could be an absolute nightmare. The other way could be the most unbounded joy of all time. The kind of tingling nature. It's like doing a massive gig, you know. You're there thinking, this is going to be the best thing ever, but why am I doing it? There's so much pain involved. It's that kind of feeling.
A quick prediction of the score.
A draw.
A draw.
1-1.
And who gets that goal? And Bale, is it?
I fancy Ramsey, actually.
Yeah.
Fancy Ramsey, maybe with Robson Kanu kind of assisting.
Nicky Wire, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
So come